Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Brandon Keith Avery, and I want to welcome you to Just My Opinion, where today you will get my review / opinion on Maze Runner, the SCORCH Trials. Stay tuned. Who doesn't like a maze? Everybody likes a maze. They're a lot of fun, especially when it has a challenge to it. It's even better when you throw humans into that element as well. So with that being said, I walked into the first Maze Runner movie not knowing what to expect, but I was very excited. And overall, it was a solid, entertaining film, but the conclusion really disappointed me. It raised more questions than it answered and was just more open-ended. It didn't stand on its own. It did say that it's going to give you sequels, but I was frustrated walking out, like I said, because it raised more questions than it answered. Now, this movie is directed by Wes Bell. You probably haven't heard of him before because he only did like 2 or 3 short films that no one ever heard of, and this is only his second blockbuster. He did the first Maze Runner and he did Maze Runner, the SCORCH Trials, and he put together a really fantastic movie. I mean, this movie blew me away. This was a true adventure, and I am so glad I got to see it. This movie right here is exactly what a blockbuster is supposed to be. It is definitely worth the price of admission. It is like what you're supposed to experience when you go to the movie. Right from the start, this film had everything. Not only did it pick up right where the last one left off, but it started to answer those questions that were left unanswered and started putting everything into place, everything in perspective, and I was eating up every bit of it. The movie also knew where to focus as far as story and didn't waste its time there. When it was done with one part, we were moving on to the next and you were ready. I mean, what another great thing about this is the great story and the universe that it's building is they actually gave me characters that I care about. My favorite character in the movie is the main character, Thomas, played by Dylan O'Brien. He has come so far from the last film and has evolved into a whole new person. This guy is truly a man, and he is a leader, and everybody is behind him, including myself. And not only did I like him, I liked everybody in this movie. Everybody was a team, and they were working together, and they were trying to survive. Everyone used their brain. There were no stupid characters. Usually movies like this, there's usually 1 or 2 people that just for some reason, because of bad writing, has to do something stupid to throw a wrench into the plot. But no, not here. Everyone was smart. Everyone used their brains. Everyone gave 100% to the goal, and that is to get away, to survive, to find the land of milk and honey. On top of all the great characters, the story was just as great. Like I said, they are building a whole new universe, and I want to be a part of all of it. I mean, it did raise more questions, but it didn't leave you hanging like the last one did. There's like an ongoing mystery that keeps you intrigued. You don't really know who to trust other than the main team, but the people that are aiming for your help, you don't know if they're really the good guys or the bad guys. And it's not just black and white. There's a lot of gray area that needs to be sorted through as well, and that's what makes it that much more fun. And the action and the visuals in this movie were just as great as the story and the characters. I mean, I'm not exaggerating when I say this, but I said to myself in the movie, like, man, I wish I could jump through the screen to kind of witness a lot of this myself. And I really do mean that. I mean, while they were running for their lives and in danger, they looked like they were having a lot of fun too in this serious way. And there was one scene that stood out to me so much. It was at nighttime and they're running for their lives, and all like these lightning bolts just started strafing the sky, just back and forth, and it was just visually mesmerizing, and I loved every moment of it. I mean, everything about this movie was a visual treat. All the destruction and the desolate land, it just looked so detailed. I mean, like, it's obviously CGI, but I could not tell. I mean, there was so much detail put in every shot. And I loved it. I mean, I really, really loved it. And what's also great is this film has layers. Like I said, it's not black and white. There's just no good guy and bad guy. I mean, you have this group over here, this group over here, this group over here, then these people over here. And everybody has their own agenda. And you don't want to get in anybody else's way. I mean, everyone is fighting for survival. So who are you to say who is good and who is bad? Who are you to say who has the right answers and the wrongs? Are you going to go left or are you going to go right? Are you going to choose the red pill or are you going to choose the blue pill? And while you're watching this movie, you're asking yourself all these questions and you're just enticed. You're along for the ride, and it's just fun. I mean, it's exactly what you want to go to the movies and see. And I loved every moment of it, except for a few of these nitpicks. While the characters was great and the action was phenomenal and the visuals were just spectacular eye candy, as sometimes the dialogue when things were calming down did not match everything else. There were times that it did get a little boring and I was wanting them to pick things back up and get the action going again. If this movie was 133 minutes long, I say about 15 minutes of those were boring. It was scattered all around through the film, so it just didn't knock the wind out of you completely, but it was noticeable, but not too noticeable. Another little gripe I have is the multiple endings that the movie had. So many times, like 3 or 4 times towards the end of the film, I was satisfied with what I saw and how they were wrapping everything up. I thought the music was going to come up and then the credits were going to hit. Then they just let me know that there's another 5 minutes that we have to sit there and witness. And the movie kept doing that over and over and over again. I'm like, damn, I mean, when is the movie going to end? It could have ended 20 minutes ago or 4 scenes ago. But those are only the 2 gripes of the multiple endings. And then it did get a little dry at times during the dialogue. But overall, it's a fantastic film. It's a true blockbuster adventure, and it's exactly what you want to see when you go to the movies. If I had to rate this movie out of a 1 out of a 10, it gets a high rating for me. It gets an 8.5 out of 10, which is like a B++++, like super A-. But guys, that's just my opinion, and I would love to hear yours. Just because I gave it an 8.5 doesn't mean that you have to give it an 8.5, and that's perfectly fine. So if you've seen the SCORCH trials or you haven't, whatever, go ahead and put your comments down in the comment section below. Let's get the conversation going. I want to hear what you have to say. You can also give me the thumbs up. It would really help me out. And also subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can see all the content that I have provided in the past and what I have for in the future. If you'd like to get a written review of this, you can go visit the website at www.justmyopinion.net, or if you're on Facebook, facebook.com/justmyopinion. or Instagram and Twitter at justmyopinion84. So guys, thanks again for tuning in for my opinion on Maze Runner: The SCORCH Trials. I thought this movie was amazing. I will be buying it on Blu-ray when it comes out because I want to witness this magic again. And before you go, don't forget that my name is Brandon Keith Avery, and that's just my opinion. Peace.